Namaste, mi familia. Let's talk about the mind. The mind is the most difficult part of us to overcome. We're born with it online and in charge, and it's here to keep us alive. And it's beautiful, and it's vast, and it's intelligent, and it's capable of so many things. And oh my goodness, it'll never shut up. It is not relinquishing control to the body and spirit, and for good reason. It doesn't have a relationship with the body or the spirit. And so we can't expect the mind to just let go of control of us just because we tell it to, right? Just because I explain this concept of the body, spirit, and mind working together in a collective consciousness, your mind is not going to go, oh, cool, I will let go control and let the body and mind have a say in things. Now, in order to do that, the mind has to develop a relationship with the body and the spirit. In a sense, it has to develop trust by being able to engage the body and spirit and see that it's not going to make stupid decisions. The mind can learn to trust the body and the spirit, develop a relationship, and let them into the conversation. Now, we've all experienced anxiety, that trickle in our mind of fear that is part of being human. The mind worrying about what could happen, our shortcomings, what's going to happen tomorrow, and all the bad things that could happen, and all the ways things could go wrong. The mind cannot help but pursue those paths. Now, what we need to do is to have empathy for the mind, right? Like, what's the more loving choice? To squash the mind and make it quiet, or to have empathy for it and to say, yeah, I get it. I know why you're that way. You're trying to help me. You're trying to keep me from making bad decisions. You're trying to keep me alive. You're trying to keep me on the right path. Okay, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to let go of control. You're going to have to let the body have a say in things, right? Okay, so again, we can't just tell the mind this. You can never logically outreason the mind. I don't care what argument that I put forward, there's no way your mind is ever going to accept this. The only way your mind is going to accept the body and the spirit is by developing a relationship with them. And you're probably detecting a pattern now. How do we do that? Well, we do that by nurturing the body, spirit, and mind. Now, this is more than just making investments in ourselves. This is more than just working out for the body and we'll be healthy. No. What we're doing is we're turning up the volume on that language of sensation. We're having the body become more attuned and having the mind pick up on the language of sensation from the body. And there's a lot of ways that you can do this that are not complicated. So let's talk about a simple concept of a walking meditation, right? My favorite walking meditation is to just walk in a square with my hands in prayer position, my heel toe forward, count how many steps in each direction, so that I repeat the same pattern over and over again. That's my personal way I love to do a walking meditation. It allows me to stop thinking about every step that I make because there's a pattern to it. And it also allows me to focus on that heel toe step of moving me forward. It also makes me realize how much walking is really just correcting falling. It's amazing how many little muscles engage just by walking when you pay attention to that heel toe movement. But introducing a walking meditation is different than sitting in meditation, right? In sitting meditation, we're often calm and quiet and still. In a walking meditation, we're moving, right? And so in doing that, one of the ways that you can change the dynamic of that meditation is by turning up the volume on some of those sensations. So for example, try eating an orange while you're doing your meditation, right? Something citrusy, that live and sweet flavor. Ooh, how about taking something that's bitter? I like to use myrrh. It's You all familiar with what myrrh is, but it's bitter. It doesn't taste good. It's not something that you would purposely put in your mouth. And so by changing the dynamic of taste while I'm doing my walking meditation, I bring forward that sense of taste. That imagine that is energy that is coming from the taste buds in your mouth and is flowing into your body and up to your mind. These are opening up channels of communication that were dormant before, right? We can do the same thing with music, right? We can do a walking meditation or any other sort of activity, working out, running, going for a walk, just taking a stroll through nature, doing, as I mentioned before, Tai Chi, whatever that is. You could play different types of music during that. Happy, exciting music, slow, calm music. But while doing that, we can pay attention of how that resonates with us, what comes up. Not to judge it, not to say that I like this or I don't like this, but just to notice the difference, right? So by doing this nurturing of our body and alivening some of the sensations in different ways while we're doing this, we're actually priming that pump of communication. We're pushing energy through channels to turn up the volume. And by doing so, we actually allow the mind to develop a relationship with the body, and we then allow it to trust, right? Allow it to engage with passive observation without judgment, and to just let that new experience happen. The same can be said for spirit. Like before starting your meditation, think of something that brings you joy. Think of your loved ones in your life, how much you care for them, the ones that you really love. I don't know how to put it, but just the people that you love. Just think about them, right? Also try negativity, right? Think of things that make you sad, things that break your heart or that have broken your heart in the past. Think of those before you actually begin your meditation. And then afterwards, journal. Like that's a brilliant way to actually channel this information and get it out, and something that you can read later is to, after you do these investments in the body, to actually go back and journal a little bit. Just free form thought. Don't think about it making sense. Don't try to have it be something that is going to be even grammatically correct. Just let the words flow. And when you're done, you can throw it away. You don't have to read it. You don't even have to go back and observe it or try to make sense of it. You can just toss it, or you can read it. Like it's a way to actually connect the body, spirit, and mind into this unified experience. Now, you'll notice that you don't do that. We don't do these types of things, right? And so by nurturing the body, spirit, and mind and bringing them together in these experiences of nurturing, we actually are enlivening. We're turning up the volume, and we're increasing our awareness from each of these three perspectives. So I invite you to try anything that you do today and to bring the body into different ways of sensation in the middle of doing your exercise and going for your walk. Instead of chewing gum, bring an orange, bring some grapes, whatever it is. Try something new and see what comes up for you. These are going to be powerful ways that you bring your body, spirit, and mind into a more collective consciousness so that you can live your true self. Okay, I'm Darby, and we'll talk soon.